They told you the facts, but skipped all the juice. The stories, the scandals, the chaos, the loose. From ancient halls to the backroom deal. History's a game they forgot to reveal. So raise a toast to the side they ignore. The messy, the snarky, the tales we adore. It's not just dates, it's a human parade. A wild, weird tapestry, the textbooks betrayed, etc.
Welcome to the first episode of Etc., the show where we time hop through the world's most important eras and get delightfully distracted by the etceteras. I'm your host, Bobbi, and joining me is my honey bunny, John.
Hi, guys.
So, as this is the first episode, we are going to just real quickly talk about the show's concept, the expectations, the etceteras. This podcast is for history, but not just the boring cookie cutter history. It is going to be about the stuff that we didn't learn about. And it's the really juicy, drama-filled, petty things, I guess.
Right.
So, do you have any expectations?
I have an expectation of this being fun. Like, that's because there's so much about history that we don't hear about. Like I call it in the gray. And okay. That's what I want to hear in this podcast, because I know that's what you're about to offer us.
Yeah, so it's going to be about all the extra stuff. So like if you think about it like a book, it's all the scribbles and doodles and side things that are not found in the normal history books. And for today's episode, we're actually going to start talking about a very important person. And we're going to go on a journey with Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh, yeah.
So first off, do you real quickly know anything about Napoleon?
I know that he was very short.
Okay, yes.
And I know that he was a conqueror. Like, he conquered everybody.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I know.
All right. So let's talk about the time Napoleon was defeated.
Okay.
But not by any army of men. He was bested by a mob of rabbits.
A mob of rabbits.
A mob of rabbits.
Wow.
All right, so picture this. It's 1807, and Napoleon is riding high after signing the treaties of Tilsit.
Okay.
Which solidified his dominance in Europe. And at that point, he's basically untouchable. The dude's conquered most of Europe, organized governments, and crowned himself emperor, basically telling others, thanks, I'm here and all this is mine.
Yeah.
So he gets with his chief of staff, Alexander Berthier, I believe.
Okay.
I'm going to probably butcher a lot of names throughout this podcast, but we're just going to call him Alex. And they say, basically, yo, let's throw a banger party. And you know what would be dope? A rabbit hunt. Because nothing screams post-war relaxation like chasing woodland creatures with guns.
Absolutely. I love that.
Alex, being the bro who gets things done, he said, I bet, and rounds up a bunch of rabbits for this event. Now, the true number of how many rabbits is unknown, but sources estimate anywhere from hundreds to possibly thousands of bunnies.
Wow.
So there's only one problem here. Instead of getting wild hares, like wild rabbits, they bring in domesticated rabbits. Like the ones raised in farms, used for feeding humans other things.
Which should be easier to find and shoot. Like, you should be able to find one of those easier than a wild hare who knows about the land. They know how to, hide and stuff like that.
Right. And so this is historically equivalent to organizing a paintball match and accidentally inviting a bunch of kindergarten partygoers.
Yeah.
Like it should be pretty chill, easy. They don't have that wild instinct to run and hide and, do things, right?
Right.
So we're kind of starting to see the problem here.
Okay.
So the stage is set. The field is prepared. The cages have opened. And instead of fleeing into the woods, the rabbits charge towards Napoleon and his men in cute, fluffy waves.
Oh, wow.
The most feared military strategist in Europe is under attack by stampeding bunnies.
Yeah.
Some accounts say the rabbits swarmed his legs, jumped into his lap, and were relentless. They thought he was the guy with the snacks, basically, and not with guns.
That's wild.
So Napoleon tried to shoo them off, obviously, then retreated into his carriage, but the bunnies kept coming. So it was just full chaos. You think of the emperor of Europe fleeing from bunnies.
I mean, so they weren't attacking them like viciously. They were trying to love on them?
Yeah, no, they wanted the food.
They wanted the food, yeah.
These were hand-raised, farm bunnies, and they wanted the treats.
That's awesome. So he retreats into his carriage, and they're jumping on the carriage. They're trying to get to Napoleon,
right? Because they think this is the guy that's going to feed me, and I'm hungry.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, Alex messed up because he didn't feed the bunnies beforehand.
I mean, he might have, but it didn't matter because they were just thinking, "Ooh, people, treats, food,
food." Yeah, absolutely. Just like a bunny rabbit would.
Right. I mean, a farm-raised bunny.
I mean, we've had rabbits before, and they eat a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens next?
Well, the historians kind of disagree on the exact scale of this incident, but let's be honest. When even one reliable source says Napoleon was forced to flee a rabbit ambush, that's already a legendary topic, and they've written textbooks on less.
Absolutely. So, and it just gets to me because, like you said, this guy has conquered everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he is relentless. I'm not saying to the extent of like a Genghis Khan or anything like that, but he was one that was known to show no quarter. He was one to hey, I'm gonna grab you by the throat and take you down, and yet a group of domesticated bunnies,
yes,
had this man on his heels.
And not just him, it was
all his whole people.
It was his chief of staff, his military strategist, the men that won wars.
Yeah.
And they're, outdone by rabbits.
If one of his enemies would have just grabbed some domesticated bunnies.
Totally different story. So obviously we have to ask, could this story be exaggerated? Of course.
Yeah.
But the event did actually happen, and this is mentioned in several 19th century accounts. It was treated as an embarrassment, so it never made it to those big biographies or textbooks or anything. Like, we just kind of skip over that one because nothing says I'm a military badass other than, hey, by the way, I got bested by bunnies. Right.
I mean, and on the flip side of that, when you're the emperor of the world, you kind of make the rules about what goes into a book and what doesn't.
Oh yeah, so I'm pretty sure he was like, no.
Yeah, he's like when that came up. Do we write about this, sir? Let's leave that part out.
Yeah, let's skip that one. You know what? But let's go distract you over here, and let's look over here to this amazing war and this treaty that I did. Remember that? But we'll skip the party. We want to talk about that.
So I wonder if, like, for the rest of his life, he had like a phobia of bunnies. Like, I'm curious about that.
So I don't know. He was exiled. So
right, yeah.
If I were the people who exiled him,
I would put bunnies there.
I would put bunnies. Yeah. Just like a little slap on of what happened. Be like, oh, by the way, here's an island for yourself and some bunnies.
Like I bet his exile would be so much worse if like Bugs Bunny had a house there.
Oh yeah.
Like he would just be like, every morning he had to wake up and see Bugs Bunny just chewing on a carrot. Like, what's up, Doc? Like,
and that's honestly what I think about when I read this was like, Bugs Bunny just outsmarting him.
So it reminds me so much of like, okay, go into the cartoon, like Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny. But anyways.
This just goes to show you that even emperors have dumb moments. Even the most brilliant military leaders miscalculate.
Right.
And even the most powerful errors sometimes forgets to fact check the bunnies.
Right. Yeah. And the moral of the story has to be, don't mess with the bunnies.
Don't mess with the bunnies.
Yeah.
At least not domesticated, farm raised. And if you do, make sure you bring treats.
Bring treats.
Bring treats.
All of this could have been avoided if Napoleon just would have brought treats.
Yeah, like if you had a handful of carrots and just like yeeted them to the side, I feel like this would have been a whole different story.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And my question is, this was a rabbit hunt. What happened to the guns?
That's a good point.
Like, I understand that they're coming after you, but you literally have guns right now. What happened?
Right.
Why didn't nobody think, hey, if I just fire it off, even in the air or like next to them, I can scare them away? Because surely that sound would have done something.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've been around, like rabbits, domesticated rabbits are scared of like thunder and lightning. So they would definitely have been scared of a gunshot.
Yeah. But instead I guess it was the shock and all, like what the heck is happening? Because instead of running away, they just ran towards you. So like if you see a sea of white and gray and, cute fluffy things coming at you, maybe that's the shock of, wait, what's happening? And
not to go nerdy on you, but it almost reminds me of, in Lord of the Rings, when the ghosts come out of the ship, like in the last one, and like the orcs are sitting there and they're like laughing at them because they think they're going to beat them. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they come out of the ship and the orcs are like, their eyes bulge out of their head and they're like, oh, like that's what it reminds me of. Like the bunnies got out of their cages and they were expecting them to run into the woods. And then all of a sudden, they just start charging on these people.
And then
they're
you
just
immediately forget that you have weapons.
You drop your guns and you just jet. Like,
you're like, no thanks, I'm done. But there you have it. Napoleon not so gloriously defeated by Peter Cottontail and his gang.
Yeah. That should be a visual thing, like just rabbits with their arms crossed with like bandanas and stuff.
Right.
Like
straight thugging. And then, like if I would if rabbits could talk to themselves and be like, they had history class, I could just see them like, hey, let me tell you about a time where we beat the most feared man of all of Europe.
Like everybody picking on them and they're like, who do you think you are talking to me? I beat Napoleon.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's wild.
Many countries couldn't beat this man, and Peter and the gang
absolutely
took him down.
So I wonder if they did Easter egg hunts after that.
I feel like Easter was probably a little bit different after that incident.
They're like, they probably banned the Easter bunny. And he's like, don't even put his picture up. Yeah, I don't want to see him.
We'll celebrate the other stuff, but Peter and the gang and the Easter bunny, nah, we got beef.
That's awesome. Well, I now know not to mess with bunny rabbits, so we've got that going for us.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there is.
But you'll have to tune in next time. Until then, thanks for listening to Etc. And remember, never underestimate nature. See you next time for another error, another story, and another etc.
Etc. Etc. We'll see you next time for the whispers, the drama, the dirt, and the grind.